Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is speaking to Adelaide Ruiters, the CEO and founder of what is on the way to becoming the world's first woman-owned phosphate mine.
2024 is the defining year for ARME. We are planning round about June, July, depending on when the elections will happen, to do that ribbon cutting we are all waiting for. We are waiting for the last few regulatory boxes to be ticked off. We are confident, hopefully by end of March, that that would happen. And then we will start with what we call in the industry the implementation of the early works program, which will be essentially the preparation of the site. It's located, to be exact, about 4 kilometers from the deep sea port of Saldanha, which is about 200 kilometers north of Cape Town. We are in a position to have a pipeline that will be constructed directly to the deep sea port of Saldanha. And from there, everything will be facilitated for export and also for a local consumption for our farmers.
And how environmentally friendly is your project going to be?
When you mine the phosphate and you have to have it concentrated to that level, in our case 28% P2O5, you actually need to do the flotation with diesel. That is what we have been using in South Africa, in fact, for years. And when I discovered that we're actually using diesel during the beneficiation process, not just for energy purposes, I said to my team of metallurgists, please, can we find a more sustainable alternative? And I have mentioned in one of your interviews before that we successfully managed to eliminate the diesel with a organic canola oil derivative. But not only that, there is this very nasty chemical that people use for phosphate flotation purposes and beneficiation purposes called caustic soda. And that is a nasty that contaminates our water sources. And we have managed to successfully eliminate that with a more organic, environmentally friendlier chemical. And we've also eliminated the fatty acids with another organic substitute. In addition to that, we are not going to use any potable water during our beneficiation. We have entered into an agreement with the Saldanha Bay municipality, and we are actually removing one of their big headaches. They're currently pumping the treated effluent water into the Saldanha Bay. It ultimately ends up in the Langebaan Lagoon, and we have arranged with them to use their treated effluent in our plant. And potable water will be used by our staff basically for consumption and obviously in the ablution facilities. And then of course, the fact that we will be using a pipeline to transport our product to the harbour, it also eliminates the usage of having many trucks up and down for the dust. All mining activities will have an element of impact, but it is under our control to see what we can do in order to minimize that impact. In addition to that, we have also agreed to adopt a biodiversity offset strategy. It involves the acquisition of pristine land in the area that we would like to convert into a reserve that has to be managed and secured into perpetuity.
And how will all this be funded?
I am very, very privileged to say that I've had very good support from the Industrial Development Corporation as well as the Anglo-American Seafor Mining Fund. That is how I was able to do my exploration and my bankable feasibility studies and so on. I'm also very happy to report to you that I have attracted the interest of local investors in South Africa. And I would like to take the opportunity to announce to the market out there that in December, we have welcomed a black woman-owned group under the leadership of Ms. Nobiswa Mboiswa. And she is leading 5 women, and they came up with a loan equity facility for ARME. And at the mining Indaba, Mr. Pius Mokokong, who is a well-known figure in the local mining industry, has signed up to become a small minority shareholder in ARME, which is to me very, very significant, taking into consideration the wealth of expertise and knowledge that he has. This is a sedimentary rock phosphate that we will be mining. It's essentially a sand. a phosphatic sand, although they say it's phosphate rock. Therefore, the mining technology is just a truck and shovel operation, and we will not be using any blasting. So it's a very, very simple mining operation, and therefore we will be using our in-house. We will not be using the outsourced contract mining. We will be doing the owner mining.
And how many people do you think you will employ?
About 393 people, that's direct employment. And then, of course, we will have people employed during the construction phase of the project. We will also have people employed with the biodiversity side of the project, because we will be employing and training youth from the area, indigenous youth, to become rangers and to be trained in conserving the area. We have decided to use the trial and tested direct froth flotation technology they are currently using at Phosphore. However, we will be using a environmentally friendlier version of that same technology. It's called the IMOFLOT G-cell technology. It uses less electricity, it has a smaller footprint, and it's just more effective in terms of, the beneficiation. It also enables us to use the canola oil. The old Simanko mine that used to mine my type of phosphate rock used exactly that technology. We have done our market study through a company in Europe, because we thought that because of the organic nature, we also would like to earn some euros, right? So we will export some of the product, but we have got a responsibility to also offer the product to our local farmers, because it is a healthier alternative. Our phosphates are very much low in cadmium, and currently 70% of phosphates in South Africa are being imported. And I can tell you, Martin, I think there's still a problem out there. We are sitting with a very sickly nation. Phosphates with high cadmium causes cancer. It's my wish that the farmers will look at the product that we will bring into the market. We also have got potential offtake agreements with there is in particular one company specializing in organic phosphate fertilizers for the organic industry, agriculture industry in South Africa, and they have expressed an interest to buy our rock. However, as the President and our Department of Minerals Minister has reiterated last week at the Indaba, we on the African continent who are engaged in mining must ensure that we do maximum beneficiation. And what does that mean for us? We actually do have very good and abundant resources in South Africa where phosphates are concerned, right? We should not be exporting our phosphate concentrate abroad and then they produce phosphoric acid. So part of ARME's strategy, and as I said, 2024 is our year. We are starting with another feasibility study to look at further beneficiation, whereby we will use a certain percentage of Zantievel phosphate rock blended with other South African phosphate rock, for example, Phosphore. We have done pre-feasibility studies to see whether the Zantievel phosphate rock can be successfully blended with the Phosphore rock to produce a more sustainable phosphoric acid. That is one of the projects that we are also applying to the IDC to fund this year. It's important for our country. It is important for the southern part of Africa to be able to continue having a presence in the phosphoric acid market. I will not be able to tell you where we are targeting the location of the phosphoric acid plants. You must remember the Phosphore beneficiated rock, the concentrate, and my concentrate is already a beneficiated product. So you can have that phosphoric acid plant anywhere, preferably at the coast, within an IDZ area or close to a port. We do acknowledge the sensitivity of the Western Cape in terms of, sustainability, and therefore we will look at alternative locations that will be sustainable and that will benefit the project. So yes, that is one of the projects that we would also like to say to the market out there. People must watch. And of course, we are looking at a future IPO. Last week at the Indaba, I took note of the exploration fund that was announced, right? There was also a fund announced specifically for small-scale miners. And I wish, and it's my hope, that whoever is listening and viewing this interview will think about that. not just mining companies whose business it is to mine, but other people like me. I mean, I've never studied, my primary degree was never in mining. There could be other women. I hope other women like me, especially younger women, you know, would heed that call that now there is a fund for exploration. And thousands of people descended to Cape Town last week, you know, for the mining in Indaba. What does that tell you? We all know about the critical minerals, right? So there are deposits that need to be explored. We do have the Council for Geoscience in South Africa, and I'm sure if you go knock on their door, I mean, that's what I did. 2012, I bought my data, previously drilled records for the Zandheuvel phosphate deposit from the Council for Geoscience. I think I paid about 500 Rand. And I've saved millions. So I wish that I could inspire other women to do the same. But they must remember it's hard work. And you have to be constant, and you must have that vision, and you must have that ability to execute, you know. You must not wait for people to bring something to you, right? I never waited to become a company's BEE partner. I went out there and became my own partner, BEE partner, you know. So there's a lot of opportunity. The mining in Indaba should open up many people's eyes to that.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Adelaide Ruiters, the founder of Adelaide Ruiters Mining and Exploration, also known as ARME.